Hey everyone, I'm Meatbomb, also known as Fire1369. I'm a 4-time MegaMan Arena World Champion, and I had 4 mains. Tark, Airman, Hardman, who we're discussing in this video, and Sparkman. Today I'm going to be running you through the Champions Notes of Termina's video on Hardman. I'm going to be answering a couple questions about him, stuff like why did I main him, how did he affect the meta when I played him, and stuff like that. For context, I did win World Championships with him, I believe specifically my 4th one. He was my final member in the match. Honestly, one of the funnest characters I ever played in any game, period. So, the first question is, why Hardman? Kind of a funny question in all honesty, but I'll tell you a bit of a story. So, there's a move Hardman has called Dive. It's called Hard Dive if you want to elongate it, but still. Dive does 10 damage, which is incredibly high in the game due to the fact that everyone has around 28 HP if they're normal for HP. So, you hit this move, and it does basically a third of your opponent's health. You hit this 3 times, they die. It's great. It is by far one of my favorite moves in the entire game. So, when I first discovered Hardman, I just was playing him in some casual match against a guy, and I hit it as the finisher to the match, and the dopamine hit it gave me made me think, okay, you know what, I'm maining him now, and I mained him from then on. I'm not joking, it was that simple. From then on, I just thought, you know what, he's fun, and I just went from there. The thing is with Hardman and why I love him so much and why I play him basically forever now, is because even if you're losing, you're winning. Let me explain. His kit is so good for just high damage that if you get in against your opponent, you could just saw their health. Like, let's say I'm down a stock, right? I have like maybe 10 health left or whatever. My opponent's up 2 stocks. Okay, I get a grab and I get an uppercut. Boom, they're dead. Cool. Next stock. Dive, done, and I win. And that's why Hardman is so fun. Even if you lose or you're losing, you can win. And stuff like grab and dive is so, it adds so much dopamine that it just makes him, like, fun. Even if you lose, you're still having fun. At least that was my take on it. Okay. So, who I hated fighting as Hardman back then was a fair bit of characters. Guys like Pluto, Magnet, Base, Snake. I never had to really deal with Tark, but it was pretty bad. If I had to deal with the way I played Tark against my Hardman, it would not be good. And also Mets. Hardman's weakness is characters that can outrange him and basically outbox him and just stay away and be really fast at it. So for example, when I had to deal with Pluto a lot, he would zip and zap around stage and I couldn't hit him. And as a grappler who wants to do big damage but needs to be up close to do it, that was a lot harder when someone like Magnet could just jump over you and entirely skip everything you wanted to do. Same with Crash, actually, now I think about it. He could just high jump over you and completely ignore everything you wanted to do. So basically, anyone that was very evasive was really bad to fight against. And if I may go into a specific matchup or two, Base was really bad because you could literally fly, and you can't hit him aside from Knuckles. So that was really bad. But Snake was one of the worst fights ever. Because what Snake can do is he can make you slower, and Hard's already the slowest character in the game. So moving was atrocious. It was really bad. So yeah. Those were like the 7 characters that came to mind first when I thought of characters I really didn't like fighting. So, the next question is, what do you think about the balance, or the recent balance changes, like Hard Dunk and Hard Punch not comboing anymore? So, my honest thoughts, I haven't been able to use Hard Dunk that well. I was playing some matches against Terminator before this recording, and I don't get it as much. Don't get me wrong, I love that the devs added it. I've been asking for a hard move in the air for like ages, ever since I started playing, so to see him finally get one fills me with a lot of joy. But I don't know. It's kind of slow. It seems really good, but I think I have to figure out how to use it first. Hard punch not comboing anymore. While it is a little sad because it gets one of my personal favorite combo in the game, which was grab into punch into uppercut, because I liked that it used all 3 of his melee attacks. It didn't even do the most damage. I just thought it was cool. I think it is a small price to pay for Salvation in Hard Dunk, because everyone was asking for a hard man to get a move in the air, and we got Dunk, so I'm happy it's there. I just personally, I don't think I can get it yet. But that's also because I haven't played him a lot since he got it. If you had something to tell a new hard man player, what would it be? So, my honest advice for a new hard man player, is to try and get in, be aggressive, but think like your opponent would. Try and get inside their head and think, where are they going next? Are they going left? Are they going right? Can you grab them from there? Can you punch? Make sure to use all your tools. And specifically with that, actually, don't go for the big moves as much. Try to limit them so they're more of a surprise punch when they come out. Stuff like grab and dive, specifically. Don't get me wrong, those will do big damage, but you want to make sure that you can read your opponent first. Let's say, like, they're on a platform and they're going left, then you can grab them and yeet them to the wall, right? But if you're just trying to go in for a quick attack, use punch into uppercut, it's a very safe combo, honestly one of the best in the game, in my opinion. It's very quick, does decent damage, and it is very nice. But I would say stick to the smaller stuff if you're trying to just get in and do some damage. And also, use his Knuckles. Please use Knuckles. It is the best thing in his kit, because Knuckles can combo as well. If you time it well enough, you can combo it into dive, and it does 13 damage. It's amazing. But definitely use your smaller moves to combo into each other, because they're very quick. Use Knuckles for projectiles, because people will try and range you out. And then try to use his jumps that he has to dodge around your opponent and try and get in. Specifically the one that leaps forward, try and use it at varying lengths to get in at specific ranges. Like if they're in the middle of the stage and you're on the left side of the stage, try and do a middle jump, try and do a far jump, stuff like that. But usually what I recommend is using a knuckle beforehand to kind of make them have to dodge around and be like, whoa, okay, I gotta dodge this first, and then you can come in and then you can punch them in the face and do massive damage. It's great. So the thing is with the big moves, once again, you want them to be a surprise, but if you spam them, it's not gonna work. If you spam anything as hard, it won't work. Even Knuckles. Don't get me wrong, Knuckles is great, but if you keep spamming Knuckles, people will see through it, and they'll just barrage through you. So I would recommend trying to be as throwing out a lot of different attacks, whether that be punch or Knuckles or what have you, that fit the situation. So, for example, if your opponent's on the wall or far away, use Knuckles. If they're up close, punch them in the face. Stuff like that. But try not to spam grab, because spamming grab will only get you hit in the face. Because that's how it works. Same with dive, you'll be in end lag and you'll get punished for it really badly. So yeah, try and make sure that you're using all your moves. Try to make sure that when you use the big ones, it's a bit of a surprise, and to throw off your opponent. For the last question, the characters I really enjoyed fighting the most were people like Sword, Woodman, Tomahawk Man, Skullman, Flashman, Hotman, and Bubbleman. The reason I specifically listed those characters are those characters, they're not super duper fast. You could just kind of keep punching them in the face over and over again. Specifically for Sword, he's about as slow as hard, so what you can do is just jump and grab him and just keep throwing him against the wall like he's a... Like literally, you could just keep bouncing him off the wall like he's a ping pong ball or something, and you could just keep throwing, keep punching, keep throwing, keep punching. It was great! Woodman, same thing, honestly. It was like one-player ping pong, perfect. Yeah, it was like one-player ping pong with these characters. Woodman, same thing, you just... It was great. Tomahawk Man, less so, but you could still do that, so it was funny. Hotman, especially, just grab him, yeet him against the wall, hit him again, yeet him against the wall, pick him up, yeet him against the wall. It was great. Bubbleman, you could just kind of punch in the face repeatedly. And Skullman, when I used to fight Skullman, his barrier only used to reflect projectiles into the character that was casting them. But that no longer happens. But when that was the case, since Hardman is such a physical and melee character, you could just walk up and keep punching him, so, like, it didn't matter. And I thought it was the funniest thing. It doesn't work that way anymore, but you can still kind of just keep punching him in the face, and it's great. And lastly, for Flashman, The thing is with Flash is when he goes into time stop, you can be in a state where you are immune to projectiles, such as dive, or you could reflect them using punch or uppercut, and it's basically useless for time stop then. Like, you can't do anything in time stop. And it is the funniest thing because then you can keep punching him in the face. It's great. So those are a couple of my favorite characters to fight. If I may give one last piece about Hardman, genuinely why I had so much fun with him, aside from all the I can win this, even if I'm losing things, was he's just such a well-designed character, and he's so fun to play. He's a grappler with pretty solid mobility, and you can work around a lot of the common problems of a grappler, such as getting outrange, because you have a projectile too. He is very well designed, and honestly one of the funnest characters I've played in like any game. Like, I've even tried other grapplers. I have not enjoyed them as much. They're still fun, but nothing will beat diving someone and making them lose all their hope as you take the win from their cold hands. From their cold, dead hands as you hit them with the third dive in a row because you're inside their head, right? Something about just doing a regular jump, dive, and just dunking people. He's so dopamine-inducing. And it is honestly one of the funnest characters I've ever had the pleasure of playing. If you enjoy those kind of, oh, I'm losing, but I can still win, those comeback kind of characters, I would highly recommend Hardman. He is an absolute joy to play. I cannot understate that enough. The raw power you hold in your hands, if you wield it well enough, you can win any match. Anyways, that's all for me.
Action.